Today's Steelers postgame coverage is sponsored by HexClad. Go to hexclad.com/chatsports for 10% off some of their premium cookware today. All right, so let's jump right in to this football game here where the Steelers once again lose in embarrassing fashion in front of a national audience. And of course, this week it really did feel like this was a must-win football game yet again. And once again, Mitch Trubisky starts. And once again, we are here where the Steelers just got absolutely ramrodded by the Indianapolis Colts. Coop, is it 27-13 final, or was it 30? So it's 30-13. F Coop in the chat for getting the score wrong here. But, you know, Mitch Trubisky did not play good football. He got a couple touchdowns early, but he finished with 16-23 passing, only 170 yards, 2 total touchdowns, 2 total interceptions. And that last interception that he threw, by the way, one of the worst throws I've seen in the National Football League this year. I mean, holy schnitzel, man. George Pickens is wide open in the middle of the field. He throws it 10 yards over him. It falls right in the lap of a Colts defender. I mean, that's unacceptable. And once again, Jaylen Warren was the leading rusher for the Steelers, and once again, he got less carries than Najee Harris. How many times are we going to say that this year? He averaged over a yard more per carry than Najee. It doesn't seem to matter with this coaching staff. And then Deontay Johnson was the leading receiver, 62 yards and a touchdown on 4 catches. And then Gardner Minshew really played good football today, 3 touchdown passes, 18 of 28 for 215. Trey Sermon, I mean, Zach Moss left this game pretty early. He scored a touchdown early on in this one. But then Trey Sermon and then Tyler Goodson came in and absolutely played well. That offensive line for the Colts really showed up. And then Michael Pittman left this game in the first half with a concussion, still was the leading receiver, 4 catches for 78 yards. We do have some injury news here for the Pittsburgh Steelers today. Minkah Fitzpatrick left with a knee injury. Doesn't seem all that serious, so I guess we'll see what his availability looks like for next week versus the Bengals. And then Trenton Thompson, another safety, left with a stinger, did not return. And then also DeMonte KZ left after laying a really nasty hit on Michael Pittman Jr. in the first half. So not a whole lot of safeties today. They were playing Patrick Peterson at free safety today, for Christ's sake. So definitely not a great day for the Steelers' middle of the defense, but we'll get to that here in just a second. First, it's red pen time. Grade today's performance for the Pittsburgh Steelers. A, B, C, D, or F. I'll give them a D- because they did some things well, I guess. Got a couple sacks. It's just there's not a whole lot to come away from this game and be like, yes, we got 3 games left. We have a chance to win these next 3. It's just really tough, man. So this is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So do me a favor. When we're going to be talking about our sponsor here in just a second, when that happens, go ahead right now. Get into the comment section and give me a grade for tonight's Steelers performance. And speaking of tonight's sponsor, it is HexClad. And let me ask you guys a question. Are you ready to rock your holiday cooking game this season? Look no further than HexClad, the revolutionary cookware brand that's changing the way we cook during the most wonderful time of the year. HexClad's innovative hybrid design combines the best of both worlds, giving you the ease of nonstick, the durability of cast iron, and the versatility of stainless steel. This means you can confidently crush your holiday feast without spending the rest of the week on dishes. And they make for fantastic gifts for the home chef in your life. So to spread holiday cheer, HexClad is giving our listeners here at Steelers Talk 10% off your order with our exclusive link. Just go to hexclad.com/chatsports, support our show, and check them out at hexclad.com/chatsports for some seriously killer cookware. What's great about HexClad is that all of their products have a lifetime warranty. These are literally the last set of pots and pans you will ever have to buy. So for all my cooks out there, HexClad has to be at the top of your holiday wish list this year. And just to show you guys, I brought my HexClad at home. Obviously, I wasn't cooking on it tonight. But what I love about this pan is I can bring it into work, and it looks like it's coming right out of the box because it's that easy to clean. And I've also pan-seared the best steaks and chicken of my life on this pan. This holiday season, give yourself or a loved one a gift they will actually last forever and change your cooking game for life. For a limited time only, our listeners get 10% off your order at hexclad.com/chatsports. Support our show and check them out at hexclad.com/chatsports. Don't let your cookware hold you back this holiday season. Happy cooking and happy holidays. So now we get to my takeaways here in Week 15, and the first one is that Mitchell Trubisky is done. All right, they did go to Mason Rudolph when the game was essentially already over. Mason didn't necessarily play great or anything like that, but I think the move to Rudolph at the end of the game is an indication that if Kenny Pickett is unable to come back next week against the Bengals, and it seems like that's the case, it's going to be Mason Rudolph. He's going to get a shot. This offense is just not functional enough with Mitchell Trubisky to justify keeping him in the lineup. I mean, he just wasn't good. I mean, he had multiple off-kilter throws. He's continuing to fade away. He's making bad decisions. And I think that Mitchell Trubisky's career as an NFL quarterback, a backup or starter, probably ended tonight. It was not a good performance for Mr. Trubisky. Then we get to number 2 here. And the second is that Tomlin has a game management problem, all right? We've seen this all season long and even going back multiple years now. And I've defended him through this, right? Where he'll waste timeouts in the second half of ball games, right? He doesn't have guys ready to go and he has to waste timeouts. And then today, I mean, one of the most egregious moments of poor game management I've ever seen. The Steelers are down by 2 possessions. A field goal puts them down 8. You are in position for a long field goal for Chris Boswell, about 55 yards, and he decides to punt the football. And then the Colts go down, they run a bunch of clock, and they kick a field goal, and now you're trusting Mitch Trubisky to lead the team down the field 2 more times. Not only that, but score touchdowns on both of them. That is a boneheaded decision by Mike Tomlin. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking when he thought that, and I can't wait to hear what his answer is at his press conference. He's probably going to say some shit like, "Oh, we lost the game by 14, so it doesn't matter." Guess what? It mattered at the time. Why are we making bad decisions? It's a process thing here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I don't care if you have a bunch of injuries. I don't give a fuck if Mitch Trubisky isn't a good quarterback. I don't give a fuck what else is going on here. You have to make the right decisions for the game at the right time, and Tomlin hasn't done that, especially today, but all season long. So let me know down there in the comment section, who do you blame for today's loss? Do you blame Mike Tomlin? Do you blame Kenny Pickett for being hurt? Do you blame whatever? Do you blame Mitch Trubisky? Let me know down there in the comments section. Let me know who you guys blame. It's hard for me to blame one person, but if I have to pick one person, I got to go with Mike Tomlin for once again not having this team ready to go. Number 3 is that, as much as we talk about Tomlin and as much as we talk about Mitch, injuries did play a part in this football game, man, and ejections for that matter. Damontae KZ left with an ejection, all right? That was the first safety that left. Then I think on the next play, Minkah Fitzpatrick gets a knee injury. He's out for the game. Trenton Thompson shortly after that, out for the game with a stinger. I mean, the middle of this defense was so squishy in the second half of the game. I mean, Trey Sermon and Tyler Goodson were freaking running the football down their throats all second half. I mean, it's just unacceptable, man. It's just unacceptable. And, the Steelers have been dealing with injuries to the middle of their defense for the last several weeks. Cole Holcomb out for the season. Quan Alexander out for the season. Minkah's been hurt this season as well. DeMonte's played slow. But today was kind of the culmination of all of that. And it just wasn't a good product defensively for the Steelers, especially because defending the middle of the field is so important in today's NFL. And because they had pretty much only backups other than Minkah Fitzpatrick in there, and I guess if you want to call Patrick Peterson a starter, he was playing free safety. I mean, Steelers were put in a bad position today because of injuries, but that doesn't necessarily take Mike Tomlin off the hook. I don't want to hear anybody, once again, defending this man until he finally fucking turns it around, because these last 3 weeks have been a joke when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. Before I get to my last takeaway here, make sure you click that subscribe button. We passed the Giants channel here at Chat Sports here. We're moving up the power rankings here at Steelers Talk. We added over 600 subscribers just on this week's watch party alone. Join us now. Help us get to 41,000. We're right there, close to 50,000. We're on the road right now. So do me a favor. Click that subscribe button right now. My final takeaway here is that the playoff season for the Pittsburgh Steelers has officially arrived, all right? So I think because you lost this game, you lost that tiebreaker with the Indianapolis Colts. You don't have the tiebreaker with the Texans if they're tied with you. So I'm looking at the situation, and I think if the Steelers get to 9-8 at this point, I don't think they get into the playoffs. So I think at this point, you have to be a 10-win team to get in, and the only way they get there is if they win the next 3 games. So over the next 3 weeks, you got the Bengals at home. With Mason Rudolph, who knows? Maybe he saves Christmas. Then we get 2 weeks in a row, hopefully with Kenny Pickett. You get the Seahawks on the road, tough environment, but kind of a bad football team. And then you get the Ravens, a team that has struggled against the Steelers offensively as of late, especially in Lamar Jackson's career. And so all three of these games, in my opinion, are winnable football games. But there's literally no more room to run if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers. After tonight's loss, your playoff chances decrease to less than 10%. So right now, the Steelers, after this 3-game skid, absolutely need to win their next 3 games. And because they're all must-wins, that means we're officially in playoff season here in Pittsburgh. All right, that'll be it for today's show, guys. Thank you so much for bearing with me here. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Obviously, this is not the type of game that you want to see from your team. We were told all week from Mitchell Trubisky, from Mike Tomlin, the extra preparation was going to make a world of difference. And guess what? It didn't. All right, he looked a little bit better in the first half, but at the end of the day, he was Mitch Trubisky today, threw 2 picks. My number one key to victory today was protect the football. They didn't do that. They gave up the football 3 times. So I'm running out of words to describe this football team, especially over this 3-game skid. But all I know right now is that the season, A, is not over, and B, you need to win the next 3 games. That's where we're currently sit here in Steelers Nation. And after the way this team has played the last 3 weeks and all the injuries that are piling up and all this different shit that's going on, I can't say I'm confident moving into this final stretch of the 2023 season. Make sure you click that subscribe button. We're going to be here covering every single thing when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you want the latest Kenny Pickett injury updates, everything leading up to next week's game, must-win game on Christmas Eve against the Cincinnati Bengals, do me a favor, click that subscribe button right now.